Hello, I'm Barry Lewis. I'm the leader of Derbyshire County Council. About a year ago I did a short video much like this discussing our roadside verges across the county and what we can do to increase biodiversity, wildflowers in our verges, do less cutting of them, which is becoming increasingly a bugbear for many residents across the county, myself included, to see if we can get more food for our pollinators and look so our roadside verges look a lot more like this meadow just behind me here, which is providing vital food for pollinators. It's alive with bees and buzzing with insects. What I said is that we'd hold a verges conference and we'd have a discussion with our district and borough colleagues across the county and get expertise from other parts of the country to come and speak to us and sort of share their best practice basically about what they're doing in their neck of the woods or in their parts of the country that might be different to what we're doing here. It was a really good day and there's some really interesting outcomes. Not least of all was that if we can adopt the right method of doing this, we can actually save money as a local authority, and that's got to be an important consideration. We can reduce our carbon footprint quite significantly. We can do far less mows each year. Now, the reason for not just abandoning roadside mowing and just going straight into a new method of doing this are manifold. It's complex, to say the least. We have, as a county council, all the roadside verges we look after across the county, an obligation through contracts that we've had for decades, years, with local authorities, other local authorities who cut these verges on our behalf, often districts and boroughs. And what that means is we have to sort of be mindful of that and sort of changing the way we procure those services in the future. And it's not simply that we can just go in and stop mowing a roadside verge, rather like we can't just stop mowing this meadow. This meadow is on a regime where it's cut once a year after the end of July, and that's the correct way to maintain a wildflower meadow, and that's what we need to be able to do with our verges. That only works if we can take the clippings, or the arisings as they're called, off the field. If we don't, what happens is it enriches the soil and you get less biodiversity, you get fewer wildflowers, so it has to be done carefully. We don't have the capital equipment to allow us to do it in that way at this moment in time, so we've got to plan for that. So hence we came up with, or still working on in fact, a strategy, and we need to procure differently with our district and borough colleagues. People's livelihoods rely on, or in part at least, them going out and cutting these verges, and at this moment in time, in the teeth of quite a significant economic downturn and increasing cost of living, I'm sure that is something that we don't want to sort of apply too easily on people's livelihoods at this moment in time. So it's got to be done in a careful, managed, considered way. It can't be stopped overnight. Where we can try to achieve quick wins, we'll work with our district and borough colleagues to do that, but it is going to be a longer, complicated process. We can't just stop mowing a verge at the drop of a hat, unfortunately, and there are some instances where we can, and we'll look at those and we will put them in a new management regime. Sounds straightforward as well, that you can just stop mowing a verge, but these are in sort of cyclical cutting regimes which are scheduled, etc., and you'll be surprised how difficult it is to kind of switch that cyclical routine off is. And so again, it needs careful management and consideration. But do take it from me, having spoken with many district and borough colleagues, councillors, officers, leaders alike, they're as keen as we are to ensure that we can manage a good outcome for all of our verges right across the entirety of the county. We want to increase biodiversity, we want to see more pollinators, we want to see less frequent cuts of our verges, we want to see it done right so we can get the arisings off. That requires capital investment, etc. This all takes time and planning. Cannot happen overnight. Difficult to do in other parts of the country. It won't be straightforward here. Do bear with us. We are trying to work this through and we will get it done, but it will take time. So thank you for listening to me, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.